הרב קוטלרסקי, כבוד הרבנים, distinguished guests, leaders of the Jewish people, shluchim from all over the globe, dear friends, Morai v'Rabotai, Kahal Kadosh. It was just after the crushing blow of Yom Kippur War. On March 1974, Adar Tafshin Lamed Daled, first time in my life I came to visit the United States of America. The first visit, I asked the permission to meet with the Rebbe. I was invited to 770. That time I was only a district rabbi in a part of Tel Aviv. I was invited on 1:30 a.m. after midnight. And this was the first Yechidut meeting with the Rebbe, which took exactly 2 hours and 20 minutes. 3:45 in the morning, the door was opened. The head of Rebbe Groner was inside of the room. I understood that this is for me the best sign that I have to stand up and to go. A very warm and soft hand of the Rebbe was on mine. He said to me 3 words with a wide smile: Olai ve'al tzavori. I take responsibility. Don't worry, we have more to talk. These 3 words in Hebrew, Olai ve'al tzavori. I take responsibility, don't care, don't be bothered. I will pay the bill. This is for me a pillar of fire, those 39 years already. Take responsibility. Be aware. But not only for the whole nation or for the whole community, but for every individual. Because when I went out 10 minutes to 4, and about 100 yeshiva boys of 770 surrounded me, what happened? What did you speak? Over 2 hours. What was the conversation? With booklets to write sentences, what the Rebbe said. I knew only 2 of the 100. I knew them from Eretz Yisrael, from before. Before I answered, the Rebbe came out, a book under his arm, behind him, Rav Mordechai Chadakov. I went to the side. He approached to me, Rav Lau, was wird sein mit Meise Merkovo? Meise Merkovo is the highest level of Kabbalah, the appearance of the Lord of Universe. Ezekiel chapter 1, the Haftarah of Chag HaShavuot, we didn't discuss Meise Merkovo. The Gemara in Sukkot of Ches says that Davar Katan, the small thing in Judaism, is all the Havayas of Abaye v'Rove, means the whole Talmud Bavli is Davar Katan. Davar Gadol, Meise Merkovo, the appearance of the Lord. And he asked me, what will be with Meise Merkovo? I lost my mouth. I didn't have a word what to say. He smiled and said, I mean that this neighborhood is a little bit dangerous in nights. Crown Heights, Brooklyn, at this time, 4 o'clock in the morning, you need a car to drive you to the hotel, to Manhattan. Meise Merkava, was wird sein? Meise Merkava. This is the Merkava, means the car. I take, as I said, responsibility not for Klal Yisrael, but also for Rebbe Yisrael, for the individual. I was surrounded with about 100 young men. Some of them were drivers, some of them had cars. The Rebbe has to take care. So I said to him, I wasn't prepared to it, I said, I will catch here a yellow cab. I remember exactly the words. He said, no, you don't know who is inside. My friend, he went away an hour ago. My friend, Rebbe Krinsky, brings me home now to President Street. I live here very close. He will return immediately to take you to Manhattan, to your hotel. This was our first meeting. Olai ve'al tzavori. I thought years, what was my zchut? A young rabbi. Before me, I will not mention names. 2 leaders from Israel were there in 770 because I arrived half an hour earlier to be on the safe side. I saw them entering in and out. Each of them was no more than 5 minutes. 2 hours and 20 minutes. 8 years later, Tafshin Membet, 1982, I served already as chief rabbi of the city of Netanya. I came to see the Rebbe. I stood at the door. I didn't announce that I'm coming. I stood at the door. Leib opened the door. The Rebbe saw me with a wide smile again. 8 Jahre seid ihr nicht gewesen bei mir. 8 years you didn't visit me. Exactly 8 years. And he kept me, you would not believe, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Exactly. I thought, what was my zchut? Of course, zchut avot, 37 generations of Rabbanim before I was born in my family, over 1,000 years of a rabbinic dynasty without Europe, over 1,000 years. But maybe because of Rav Chadakov, you reminded me with this picture. Chol HaMoed Pesach, Tovshin Lamed, 1970. The telephone in my home in Tel Aviv rings. Doret Mordechai Chodakov from Lubavitcher Hof in Brooklyn, New York. Der Rebbe ist nicht beruhigt wegen dem Inyan von Mihu Yehudi. The Rebbe is worrying about the issue of who is a Jew. Because 1 month earlier, on March 1970, the Israeli Knesset have got a decision made by over 100 votes among the 120 that a Jew, to the law of return and to the registration in Interior Ministerium, means the definition of a Jew is the one who was born to a Jewish mother and doesn't belong to another religion, or the one who have converted. The Rebbe insisted on to add one word, kahalacha, converted according to the Jewish law. And this word wasn't added. So the Rebbe is very concerned about it. And we want to arrange in Lag BaOmer next month, in Rehovot, an assembly of thousands of people about two topics, Shleimus Ha'am or Shleimus Ha'oretz, the wholeness of the nation and the wholeness of the land, of the country, not to regret, not to withdraw. Member of the parliament, Menachem Begin, will speak about Shleimut Haaretz, and Rav Lau, we ask you to speak about Shleimut Ha'am, who is a Jew. I didn't understand why Rehovot, Lag BaOmer, and why I was chosen. I was very young then, 1970, means 42 and a half years ago. And the same evening, I ended my speech. Berke Wolf, Zichrono Livracha, my friend, took a tape. He came with a tape recorder, was running to the airport. The name Ben Gurion Airport wasn't in existence at that time. Lud. To give it to El Al flight. And in the morning of the Lag BaOmer, the Rebbe have heard my speech about who is a Jew. This helped me to open the gates to the mind and to the heart of Lubavitcher Rebbe. What you have seen here on the video, it's a surprise for me, was a year and a half, exactly, Tesvov Elul Tovshin Nun Aleph, a year and a half before the elections to the chief rabbinate, which took place on Rosh Chodesh Adar Tovshin Nun Gimel. A year and a half before, in Israel, in 6 days, you can change the map, the history and the geography. In 6 days, you change the whole Middle East till this very last day. A year and a half, he saw it. I want to take you back to the week parasha of yesterday, Chayei Sarah. We finished to read 3 weeks about Avram Avinu, Lech Lecho, Vayero, and Chayei Sarah. Yesterday, telling us about the passing of Avram Avinu in age of 175, of uns gesagt. There is a phrase of our sages in the Gemara Bava Batra Tetzayin. Even יקרה הייתה תלויה בצווארו של אברהם אבינו. A precious gem was hanged on the neck of Avraham Avinu. A very special gem. Every sick man who looked at this gem on the neck of Avraham Avinu recovered, became healthy. When Avraham Avinu passed away, we read it just yesterday, the Lord of the universe took this gem and hanged it in the sun, in the cycle of the sun. That's all what the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tells it. Wow. What kind of a gem? What means to cure all the sick, all the ill people, just looking at this special stone on his neck. And after his passing away, he didn't find another one, any alternative, just the sun. What does it mean? Gemara. No other but one of the greatest Rishonim, commentators of the Talmud, the Rashba, Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet. He explained, I wouldn't believe, look at the Rashba. The world in the times of Avraham Avinu was sick. a spiritual madness. They were adults, people who served the idols. As Jeremiah the prophet tells us, they could bow to a stone and to say, Avi Ata, you are my father. To a piece of wood, At Yelidetani, you are my mother, you brought me to this world. And a stone, a wood. Isaiah the prophet is laughing at them. You take the same wood, half of it you throw into the oven to heat the home, to cook, to bake, and the other half you make a face like an idol, and you bow to it. And you are ready to sacrifice your son for Avodah Zarah. The world was sick, it was a madness. Till Avraham Avinu came. His neck wasn't his neck, his throat, his mouth. He had a brilliant talent of speaking. He was an orator, Avraham Avinu, an eloquent speaker. He spoke, telling the people, you are doing a mistake. There is a Lord Almighty. There is a Father in heaven. We cannot see him, but he exists. He has created all what is here. He has created us. I broke all the idols of my father Terach. Follow me. Everyone who was listening to the mouth, to the pearls came out of the mouth of Avraham Avinu, became healthy. This was the illness. The man is right. Avraham Avinu passed away. Rebbe said, you want to know who am I? Look at the sun. Se'u marom einechem, says Yeshaya. Look upstairs. Ure'u mi bara ele. And understand who have created all of this universe. The Creator will tell us who the Creator is. No substitute to Avraham Avinu to heal the spiritual madness of the Elilim. Just the Bria itself, the universe. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, as I said, is pillar of fire, Amud HaEsh. He ought all of you, Shluchim, to replace Avraham Avinu, to tell the entire world who is the Rebbe Shalom and what he asks us to be and to do and how to behave and what will be the concept of our lives. The Rebbe asked the Shluchim to do it because if the son replaced Avraham Avinu, Dvorah in her song in Shirah says in the book of the Judges, Ve'ohavav, those who love the Lord Almighty, ketzet hashemesh bigvurato. They understand that their duty is to fulfill the duty of the sun when it comes to shine the world, to enwarm and to lit the world. Ve'ohavav, ketzet hashemesh bigvurato. The function of the shemesh, of the sun, was to replace Avraham Avinu. Ohavei Hashem, those who love him, they understand what is their task, what is their duty. The task is to tell the world who is the Rebbe Shalom, what is his Torah, what are his 613 commandments, what does he ask us, what he demands the Jew to be, to do, to behave. A shaliach, every place in the Bible, in the holy books, is always two verbs. Yeshaya, whom I have mentioned, chapter number 6, the Haftarah von Yisrael. Va'eshma et kol, I have heard a voice, the prophet says. Et mi eshlach, whom shall I send? Umi yelech lanu, and who will go in our mission? Et mi eshlach, umi yelech. Whom shall I send, and who will go? What's the difference? And the answer of the prophet was, Va'omar, I said, Hineni, here I am, Shlacheini, I am the Shaliach. He didn't say, I go, Shlacheini. To Moshe Rabbeinu at the burning bush in the desert of Sinai, for the first time that the Rebbe Yisrael spoke to him, he said, Moshe, Lecha, go, again, go. Ve'eshlachacha, and I will send you el Paro melech Mitzrayim, to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, ve'hotzeh et ami bnei Yisrael melech Mitzrayim, to bring out my nation from slavery to freedom, from Egypt. Va'omar, Moshe Rabbeinu said, Mi anochi, who am I, ki elech el Paro. The word shlichut he didn't mention. The answer was the burning bush, which is never liquidated, never extinguished, but never liquidated. V'zeh lecha ha'ot, this is for you the mark, ki anochi shlachticha. I have sent you, you are shaluach. In the beginning he said, Lecha ve'eshlachacha. Go and I send you. The answer was, Hineni shlacheni. I'm ready to be Shaliach. The Rebbe Yisrael said, Anochi shlachticha. And to Yirmiyah Hanovi, Ki al kol asher eshlachacha teilech. Wow. You see it? Wherever I send you, you go. Dear friends, if I may say so, Shaliach is not in his power himself. Who sends him? The sender is more important. To go, you must have your personality, your own personality. I go. As Avraham Avinu said, Et asher hitalachti lefanav. I was walking in the ways of Hashem. To go, to walk, you must be somebody, not just one who brings an envelope, mail from one place to the other. Who are you? What are you? To be a shaliach, in the beginning, maybe everyone can be. But to be lech lecha me'artzecha in lech lecha el eretz Amoriya, to walk. Et ha'elokim italech Noach. Noach needed the support of the Rebbeinu Shalom to walk. Avraham Avinu didn't need it. Et asher hitalachti lefanav. I by myself. I didn't need any support, any assistance. I walked because Avraham Avinu was Ha'adam HaGadol Ba'anakim, the greatest giant, as Chazal say, the sages. Now, the Rebbeinu Shalom sent Moshe Rabbeinu. He said, Lech ve'eshlachacha. To go? Mi anochi ki elech el Paro. I am a shepherd of the lambs of my father-in-law Yitro, Cohen Midian. I am not a personality to go to Pharaoh. So the Rebbeinu said to him, you see the bush, nothing damaged happened to him. Zelecha ha'od ki anochi shlachticha. Let's start with a shlichut. Go in my name. In the name of God. Moshe Rabbeinu came to Pharaoh the first time Ko amar Hashem Elokei Yisrael. So said the Lord Almighty Elokei Yisrael. Shalach et ami. Let my people go. V'yavduni, to serve me. He went as a shaliach. When the Yeshayahu was heard that voice, et mi eshlach u'mi yelech lanu, one of the two possibilities, modesty, moderate, he said, va'omar hineni shlacheini. To walk, I am not a personality. To be your shaliach, I am ready to go. Hineni shlacheini. To Yirmiyahu, who said, I am just a kid. Nar anochi. I am a young boy. Rabbi Shlem said to him, don't say it. Ki al kol asher eshlachacha telech. You start as my shaliach, and you will find out, being a shaliach, that you find in yourself abilities, power, talents, and possibilities to walk by yourself. This is the mission that the Rebbe put on your shoulders. I speak to you as a brother to his brothers. I see you work, the holy work, all over the world. There is no one continent of the 5 continents I didn't see you busy in your schedule of saving Jewish lives. Saving. Because with whom do you deal? You deal with people who don't know the aleph base of Yiddishkeit many times. I gave in the hands of a shaliach in Latin America about 15 years ago, a lady. I was flying to Latin America, over 10 hours flight. Over 10 hours. It was sunshine in the middle of the flight. I took out my handbag, took out my tallis and film, put that film and started to daven. A lady came, 50, 60 years old. What kind of EKG is this? Electrocardiogram. What kind of EKG? It's a cardiologic. She saw this black on my head, on my arm. Said, well, this is not an EKG. We call it tefillin. I am Judeo. In Spanish, I am Jewish. We have a commandment every day to put on our head, next to the brain, to put on our left arm, next to the heart, the declarations, Shema Yisrael, and I told her what is Shema Yisrael, only the first sentence, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, every day. And I told her the rest, for Pashat, we had time, 12 hours flight. She says to me, you know, maybe, probably, I'm not sure, but maybe, I doubt about it, but maybe somehow I'm also Judeo. I'm also Jewish. I asked her, what means maybe, probably, I doubt? Tell me the story, maybe I can give you the answer. I didn't tell her I'm a rabbi, I didn't tell Israel, Judeo, a Jew. She said, my grandmother came from Europe 50 years ago when I was 10 years old. All the family was called to Buenos Aires. She's going to die. She wants to separate from all the family. Panama, Venezuela, Miami, Montevideo, all the cities, Rosario and Cordova in Argentina, We were all asked to join in the living room. They brought her bed. She told me 50 years ago, as it happened yesterday, she put on 2 pillows her elbows to see everybody of the family and to be shown by everybody. And she said to them, I didn't want to interrupt your career. I was afraid that you will suffer of anti-Semitism. Before I close my eyes, before I give back my soul to the Lord Almighty, I must tell you a secret. I am Judeo. I am Jewish. So I said to this lady, and she was so excited, even me, when I heard the story, I said, this grandmother was your father's mother or your mother's mother? She said, my mother's. Welcome to the club. Welcome, you are my sister. It's happened close to heaven. A lady of 60 years old, not in the Soviet Union, in Latin America. She didn't know 60 years who she is, what she is. This meeting in heaven in the plane with the film changed her life. I gave her a name to whom to apply, to teach her, if you have an interest. She said, yes, I have an interest. I don't have to tell you the details, what happened later. She became a nice Jewish lady. How influence she had on her children, I really don't know, I don't want to tell. To conclude my words, I want to say one sentence. I don't have to say how we admire you, how we appreciate your work, how we praise you. I saw in my very eyes 22 years ago in Zhitomir, the Shaliach, the Rebbe of the Shaliach, whom we have to give hands to the ladies of the Shlichim, sometimes more than to the Shlichim themselves. They deserve it. They deserve it. As Rav Shishler said before, I saw this lady who came from Antwerp, from a nice family, didn't lack anything. They came to live in Zhitomir after the Iron Curtain was lifted up. For the baby, there was no bed, no room and no bed. The bed of the baby, I saw it, was the suitcase. They came with a suitcase from Belgium to Ukraine to put the baby of 6 months, I think, in a suitcase. This was the bed. I appreciate you. I salute you. And I encourage your activity. I know how many times it's so difficult to see the fruit, to have the patience to see the fruit of your holy work. But I want to conclude in one word. If someone will ask me, and not once it happens, what was special in the Lubavitcher Rebbe? So many Rebbes, the Rabbonim, Rosh Yeshivas and Dayanim, even last generation ago, what is so special? I can quote one sentence of the Zmiris we say every Motzei Shabbos. Speaking about Eliyahu Hanovi, Elias the prophet, Ish, a person, Sachu Acharav, people used to say after him, because of him, Hashem Hu HaElokim. My father-in-law, late Rav Yitzchak Yedidia Frankel, chief rabbi of Tel Aviv before me, He explained it to me. What does it mean? It happened on the Mount of Carmel. Eliyahu alone, confronting 450 Nevi'ei Habal, serving the idols, spiritual leaders of that. And he was alone. And there was a magic whose sacrifice will be welcomed by the Almighty. There didn't. He made his sacrifice, he prepared it, and then he applied to heaven and said, Aneini Hashem, Aneini. Please, God, answer me. Pay attention to my prayer. Ve'yedu kol ha'am hazeh, so the whole nation will know Ki ata ha'elokim, that you are the Lord. Please answer. At the moment, heaven opened, fire came down from heaven and took the sacrifice of Eliyahu. All the people around the Carmel mountain bowed on earth and declared twice, Hashem hu ha'elokim, Hashem hu ha'elokim. And we end Yom Kippur with this word 7 times, Hashem hu ha'elokim. This is the climax of the holiest day. The words that the people said then. Rav Frankel said to me, look, how strange. Maybe if it would happen today, people would say, oh, what a Rebbe we have. A Baal Moifes. He spoke, he asked, and he made the miracle. The Rebbe made a miracle. Fire came from heaven to receive the sacrifice, the korban. The people didn't say a word about the personality of Eliyahu, of the prophet. They didn't admire the Rebbe at the moment. He accomplished his target, that the people will declare loudly, twice, Hashem hu ha'elokim. This is the greatness of Eliyahu. That he brought to a situation that all the people of Israel understood that Hashem is ha'elokim. That's what we say Motzei Shabbos every week. Ish, you know who was Eliyahu Hanavi? What a kind of a person? Sachu acharav. After him, because of him, the whole nation said, Hashem hu ha'elokim. This was his greatness. The Lubavitcher Rebbe was such a leader, a person, a personality, that he brought to a situation from Vladivostok to San Francisco, from Alaska to Melbourne, all over the globe. People say, because of him, because of you as his shluchim, Hashem hu ha'elokim. In that schus, that the Rebbe is following the way of Eliyahu Hanavi to create a situation of knowledge, v'yadata hayom v'ashevota elevavecha ki Hashem hu ha'elokim. That's what he have accomplished through you, because of you. We will zoiche to have Eliyahu Hanavi sheyevaser lanu besorot tovot, yeshuot v'nechamot, and the fulfillment of the last prophet Malachi will be realized in our very eyes in very soon. Hinei anochi sholeach lachem et Eliyahu Hanavi לפני בו יום השם הגדול והנורא והשיב לבבות על בנים ולב בנים על אבותם במהרה בימינו אמן.